is all right, but he is on the verge of passing out. The principal's attention, however, is now fixed only on the victor. He stares at Ye Chuan with a dark and intense expression, his mind racing. He slowly approaches the scene, his gaze never leaving Ye Chuan. A shocking realization hits him, and he wonders if it is possible that Ye Chuan has already reached the level of a 7th rank apprentice. With Liu Jinglong defeated, Ye Chuan picks up the spirit weapon his opponent dropped. He inspects the blade, thinking that the sword looks quite good. Meanwhile, Liu Jinglong's friend expresses his shock to the principal, questioning if that kid could really have reached the 7th rank, especially when the talented Xu Lingxuan is only at the 6th rank. The principal, with a thoughtful expression, confirms that it is possible. He begins to explain the differences between how combat type and life type professions level up. He says that combat type professions need constant training, battle experience, and injuries to grow, so their early growth is slow. However, once they master the basics, their growth speed increases a lot. On the other hand, life type professions have an easier path. Professions like alchemists or weaponsmiths don't need to fight, they just need to practice their craft. Using Ye Chuan as an example, he explains that as a pig butcher, he just needs to keep slaughtering pigs to quickly increase his level in the early stages. A flashback shows Ye Chuan easily butchering a pig, highlighting this simple path to power. Xu Lingxuan, after listening, understands now that Ye Chuan won because of the high base stats he gained from his higher level, not because of better skill. She questions if this way of leveling is unfair to combat-type professions. The principal clarifies that there is a balance. He explains that for Ye Chuan to level up, the number of pigs he needs to kill will double with each rank. By the time he reaches a high level, the number required will be huge. In contrast, combat-type professions who have mastered their skills early will find their growth speeding up, eventually passing the life-type professions. Liu Jinglong's friend asks if this means that while Ye Chuan can beat Liu Jinglong now, in a few years, the combat-type professions will easily overpower him. The principal grunts in agreement, though he looks a bit troubled. Having heard the conversation, Ye Chuan thinks to himself and seems to understand their point. He turns to the principal and says that if there is nothing else, he will be leaving, waving a casual goodbye as he prepares to continue his journey. As Ye Chuan prepares to leave, Xu Lingxuan steps forward and confronts him with a look of pity. She asks him why he is bothering with all of this, questioning if his recent efforts in slaughtering pigs were all just for her. To show off, she then reveals that she has been accepted into the prestigious Tianqiong Academy, cementing the fact that they are now from two different worlds. Ye Chuan can only stare at her with a blank expression. At this point, Xiananan has had enough. She declares that she cannot watch this any longer. Stepping between Xu Lingxuan and Ye Chuan, she angrily demands to know if they are ever going to stop. She clarifies that Ye Chuan is with her to help her find the Blood Moon flower, and their meeting was a complete coincidence. With her hands on her hips, she furiously asks them what they are imagining in their heads. The heavyset female student from the academy group retorts, mocking Xiananan for treasuring a scumbag that Xu Lingxuan has thrown away. Liu Jinglong's friend adds his own insults, claiming that Ye Chuan is an expert at seducing women. He remarks on how quickly he has found a new girl, calling them a perfect match. Fed up with their taunting, Xiananan's patience snaps. She throws a powerful punch that unleashes a wave of energy, hitting not just the two students who insulted her, but the entire academy group, including Xu Lingxuan and the principal. The principal, caught off guard, is left with a red handprint on his cheek, wondering why she hit him too. Xiananan stands beside a stoic Ye Chuan, her fists clenched in anger. Xu Lingxuan, holding her own reddened cheek, looks at her in disbelief, furiously questioning how she dared to hit her. Her anger flares, and her body is enveloped in the icy blue aura of her Snow Soul Sword immortal power. She draws her sword, and with a look of pure rage, asks Xiananan if she is looking to die. As Xu Lingxuan prepares to attack, Xiananan remains defiant. She holds up her family's protective amulet, a clear symbol of her powerful background, and dares anyone to try and touch her. The sight of the amulet immediately stops everyone. The principal, in particular, breaks into a nervous sweat, recognizing the token and the power it represents. He instantly steps in, grabbing Xu Lingxuan's arm and shouting for her to stop. He explains that he now recognizes the girl as the young miss of the powerful Xia family. His entire attitude shifts from commanding to friendly. He turns to Xiananan with an apologetic expression and asks what she is doing there. Xiananan is not in the mood for small talk. She dismisses his question, stating that she can go wherever she wants. She then turns the tables on him, criticizing him for the poor quality and manners of his students. The principal can only bow his head in apology, agreeing that it was his mistake and promising to discipline them thoroughly when they return. But Xia Nanan is not finished. She points an accusatory finger at Xu Lingxuan and demands that the principal make her apologize to Ye Chuan. This leaves Xu Lingxuan stunned, her mind reeling with the realization that this girl is the daughter of the great Xia Beihai, and she cannot understand why such a high-status person would be with Ye Chuan. The principal, desperate to not offend the Xia family, sternly orders Xu Lingxuan to apologize immediately. Cornered and humiliated, Xu Lingxuan offers a reluctant, quiet apology to Ye Chuan, her eyes downcast. Internally, however, her face is a mask of pure fury. She silently vows that the Shi family will pay for this insult. Having had enough of the drama, Ye Chuan tells Xia Nanan that they should go. As they turn to leave, the defeated Liu Jinglong, still on the ground, cries out for them to stop. He demands that Ye Chuan return his spirit weapon. Ye Chuan, with the stolen sword on his back, looks over his shoulder with a smirk. He taunts Liu Jinglong, challenging him to come and take it back himself if he can, stating that he is ready for a fight any time. Xia Nanan blows a playful raspberry at the defeated rival. Liu Jinglong can only clutch his chest, seething with anger. As Ye Chuan walks away, Liu Jinglong screams a final furious threat, telling him to just wait. Having left the academy group behind, Ye Chuan and Xia Nanan continue their quest. They venture through a rocky landscape. Xia Nanan consults her map again, and looking up at a nearby cliff with a glowing red cave, she confirms that this is the place and advises Ye Chuan to be careful. As they prepare, Ye Chuan receives a system notification. It informs him that he has now selected the spirit weapon as his exclusive pig-slaying knife and that its god-slaying edge effect is active. Thanks to the better quality of the new weapon, he will now receive 0.2 free attribute points for every pig killed, double the previous amount. Looking at his new sword, he realizes the importance of choosing a good knife. Suddenly, Xia Nanan pulls two small colored spheres from her cleavage, much to Ye Chuan's surprise. He asks her what the items are. She explains that they are called Yin Thunder Fire Beads, powerful explosives that could severely injure even a strong expert. She plans to use them as a last resort if the Blood Moon Great Python is too powerful. Ye Chuan, with a brave look, tells her she is ruthless and announces that he will go up to scout ahead. He expertly climbs the cliff face, using his new sword to help him. He reaches a ledge covered in beautiful glowing red flowers. To his surprise, Xia Nanan is already there, having found an easier path. She exclaims with delight that the flowers are real and that they are the extremely rare blood crystal twin flowers. Just as she celebrates, a sense of dread fills the air. A monstrous, shadowy head with glowing red eyes emerges from the darkness of the cave behind them, its gaze fixed on the flower Ye Chuan is holding. Ye Chuan is stunned by the sudden appearance of the massive creature. The beast is revealed to be the Blood Moon Great Python, and from Ye Chuan's unique perspective, its snake head has the features of a pig's snout. The monstrous pig snake looms over him, and Ye Chuan, completely unfazed, casually asks it what it is looking at and if it has never seen a flower before.
Thanks for watching. I'm going to introduce the new manhwa. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video,